Get to know Zahra Heydari, a dynamic psychotherapist dedicated to helping others become the best versions of themselves. She and I discuss couples counseling during the pandemic.
I am excited to feature Zahra Heydari on the show today. She is a licensed marriage and family counselor, and you're also a psychotherapist, right?
Correct.
Tell me about yourself and where you're from, and how did you get into the industry of helping others?
I am originally from Iran and was born and raised in Iran, came to this country when I was 19 and started to get obsessed with Oprah and self-growth, and I was in a bad marriage. So in order to learn coping skills, I started reading and getting educated and watching Oprah every day, and to heal my marriage and my own personal pain. That's why I became a therapist.
Wow. Thank you, Oprah.
Thank you, Oprah. Thank you, Oprah.
That is amazing story. Explain your affinity specifically for crisis management for couples. Is it because of your turmoil in your past marriage?
I think it's a combination of everything. Sometimes, not sometimes, I believe always, life pushes us to get stronger and grow and takes us to dark alleys because God has big plans for us. So my story, yes, married at 19, arranged marriage, and lots of unhappy days. And I was on a daily crisis in the marriage and in my country, Iran, during the revolution and the war, bombing and all of that stuff, crisis. So, and losing my dad all of a sudden in a car accident at the age of 11. So crisis. And I became interested to helping others. And I was a hairdresser first. I was helping people to feel pretty and look pretty. Then I realized God is calling me to do something deeper. And Oprah, again, guided me. I'm very serious. I started buying and reading all the books she recommended. And although I was in a very abusive situation, I decided I don't want to have an affair and I don't want to be addicted. I need a way to get out of this so I could be a messenger of hope for others with my journey. That's why I got the AA, BA, and Masters, and that's how I became a therapist. And I work for the government. I work for the County of Orange. And what we do, we provide crisis, we provide mental health. So that kind of got me more into going to people's homes, and if they're suicidal, if they're having fights, what can I do? And then because I was getting good at that with the blessing of God, my Pastor Tim Story, who is an amazing friend and a mentor and works with celebrity coaches and all of that, he told some of his clients if they need a therapist, this is the one. So I got to go to my high influencers circles, clients, to solve problems, because I don't take 6 years to solve problems. I have couples, they come to me 6 sessions, 5 sessions, we know what's gonna happen. So it's fast, it's effective, and it's very goal-oriented, and we pray. I pray, I'm into Jesus and Lord. We pray and we do meditation, deep breathing, and then we do clinical work, and it's very intense work. It's not like I see you in 3 weeks. No, it's like 6 weeks, kind of a boot camp. We just do it and it's done.
What's the name of your practice?
I call it Healing with Love because I believe we all could heal with the love of Lord that could heal us with everything. Am I looking in the right direction?
You're fine.
I look at you're here. I'm lost for a second.
It's really when you really can't tell which way you're looking.
So I want to look at you. Okay.
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 Okay. Well, I think that you're the perfect person to offer some advice for some scenarios. I know we're in the midst of COVID and quarantine, and a lot is going on in the world, a lot of devastation in terms of, financially, mentally, personally, etc. And so it can wreak havoc on a lot of households all over the world. And so I invited you here today to see if you could help some couples out there that may be watching. You could help them in these different scenarios. Are you up for that?
I am definitely up to that. And first of all, I want to say what an honor to be invited in your show. And you are our Oprah. You're gonna be like Oprah, bigger, like Oprah big. I'm sorry, I'm just keep saying that.
To me.
You honestly have that charisma and have that compassion and have that beautiful mind that you just want to help. I love that. So, coming to couples and COVID-19, we have to acknowledge it is happening. Okay. So number one, I tell all the couples that are watching, let's acknowledge the fact. It is a fact. There is a crisis, but what are we gonna do about it? So this is the season to either thrive together or survive together. Couples that are actually thriving together, I could give you reports of beautiful blessings. Someone just finished her cooking book while he just finished his 6 weeks coaching program. I mean, people are really becoming creative and leaning towards each other. So I want to say, number one is, if you are committed, remind yourself, why are you committed? Why are you even staying together? Okay, there is a season in the marriage, in a relationship. If it's raining outside, we cannot go with our shorts. We should be, wearing a jacket. So this is a season of crisis with COVID-19. So let's shift the attention from negativity of what is happening out there and come to positivity and a growth mindset. What can we do as a couple to move forward? So remind each other you are in each other's team. Nobody's fighting. You are in the same team, so let's put the finances on the table, because that's a huge issue right now. Couples are getting to know each other's secrets about finances, credit card bills, or unhealthy addiction to gambling, or unfortunately porn or other stuff. So let's be vulnerable. Let's be honest. This is the best time to get to know your spouse in the deepest level.
Love that so much. I have these scenarios. I'm going to read these.
Go ahead, please.
So for any couples out there that are watching that may be in a personal crisis of their own, I would love for you to offer professional advice for each of these scenarios. And the first one is, speak to the couple battling financial disparity due to job loss or slow business. How would you help them? How can you help them?
Okay, number one, do not blame each other. Okay? Number two, let's be honest. Let's put the bills on the table and let's acknowledge someone in the team, because we are in the same team, lost the job and lost the income. So be a supportive, loving partner, husband, wife, and have more compassion. Okay, compassion, grace, and feel the pain they are feeling instead of judging them. And become their number one cheerleader, because when people lose their job, they lose their confidence and then they lose their competence. So try to create that positive energy in them to encourage them to get out of this by maybe helping them. If they don't know how to do a resume, but maybe you help your spouse to make a resume and update the resume in LinkedIn. Work together as a team and go towards the problem with a solution-focused ideas, instead of what are we gonna do and being negative and just wasting time. Let's create togetherness and growth and creativity together. I don't know if it makes sense.
No, that makes perfect sense. Perfect. Okay, the next couple. Speak to the couple experiencing a health crisis and a mate stepping up as caretaker.
Okay, that is very difficult. Number one, pray. Pray for your partner, your wife, your husband that is going through a health crisis, because that is not easy. Number two, try to create some space for yourself to be in tune with Lord, with your own basic needs, so you could give. Because if you are in an airplane and the airplane is going down, you need to put the mask on you first. So in order to be a good caregiver to a spouse that is going through a health crisis, you need to remind you need to take care of you first. And that doesn't mean you're selfish or ignorant or arrogant. That means you're a powerful person who admits, I need to take care of me by meditating, by praying, by eating healthier, by maybe calling my best friends, my support system, my mentors, so I could build myself up for the love of my life to heal. And remember, marriage goes through different seasons. And this is the season that you said you're gonna marry for better or worse. Unfortunately, this is the worst. So step up your game, come back to the basic values. Why did you even get married to this person? And remind yourself that in God's timing, he or she will be healed and will come out of this stronger and be extra kind and loving and compassionate to the partner that is not doing good.
Amazing. The next one. Speak to the couple on the brink of divorce, still living under the same roof.
Okay. That is happening a lot too, unfortunately. What I really want to recommend, doesn't matter it's COVID-19 or not, if there's domestic violence, I need everybody to really get out of that situation, get the professional help. So do not stay in an abusive relationship. It doesn't matter what is going on. And personally experiencing domestic violence and actually getting a restraining order. So I know how government could help, or friends or family could help if you are in that situation by speaking out your truth. So, but let's say there is no domestic violence, they're just not doing good, they're falling apart. I recommend personally, if there's no addiction, if there is no abuse, and if there's no adulteries going on at this moment, I recommend my couples to stay together.
And why is that?
Because it's too much uncertainty going on outside with the coronavirus and the changes that I think personally, again, gone through a divorce. Unfortunately, divorce is a very stressful situation. You have to be ready to get into that. And some of my couples go to it because they just fell out of love and whatever reasons, I respect that. Then they call me and they say, you said it's hard. It is hard because it's a grief. Because right now we are processing the grief of our freedom with the coronavirus outside. So many, I mean, look at you, you look gorgeous and you're not in front of your huge TV production now. I miss my clients, hugging them, praying with them. You know, I'm very like touchy and huggy. So we all process grief. And then divorce, it doesn't matter what is the reason. It is a break up of something that was meaningful to you someday, somehow in the past. So that creates grief. And grief is very heavy and painful. So to summarize this question, because of the COVID-19 and the grief that is outside, let's minimize the grief inside and try to live together as respectful roommates, co-parent as respectful parents that God blessed us with these beautiful angels. And let's work on ourselves, see a therapist, coach, whatever, so we could learn to navigate through this divorce with peace and grace after, hopefully, COVID-19. But it's a one day at a time. If tomorrow you wake up and you say what Zahra says, it did not make sense, it's your decision. It's a personal decision. But I think,
from your professional expertise, that's what you say. Stay together, stick it out, and and go to the root of why you got married in the first place.
And one more thing, please, I want to add, please. Everybody's stress level is really high right now.
Mm-hmm.
So people are getting divorced sometimes for wrong reasons. And divorce is permanent. COVID-19 is not.
Right.
So let's just weigh our options.
Weigh our options. All right. Excellent. Excellent. Next one. Speak to the couple experiencing the death of a loved one and its effects on the marriage.
Again, probably you and your audience are gonna say, "Who is this girl? She's been through domestic violence." I mean, so many things. But this is not something that I'm laughing. I lost my sister December 2019. She was very young and cancer. And if my partner wasn't supportive and loving, I don't know what I would have done. So, if your partner is going through a loss of a loved one, please be loving, be caring, listen, don't judge, and be the rock they need, because they cannot see the family or the support they need right now. So you are the only one with the social distancing and all this healthy stuff that we need to be careful with COVID-19. So pray, again, I'm very big in praying. Pray for your partner to heal, and be extra kind and loving and compassionate, and know, again, this is the season in the marriage that is not a very joyful one, but it's going to bring you closer in a long term.
I agree. The next one is speak to the couple that is working from home but not fairly sharing the household responsibilities.
Every morning, have a very short 5 minutes meeting and communicate your expectations from each other and your expectation from yourself, what you need to accomplish today. So communicate your needs, communicate your goals, and every couple, regardless of how much alone time we need or we don't need in a normal life, right now with COVID-19, having alone time is mandatory. So make sure you fill up your own tanks by listening to stuff that makes you feel better, by watching these shows, by listening worship, songs, calling your best friends. So you fill up your tank, you work on you have some space on personal, physical, spiritual growth. Walk it out. I always tell my clients, I know the gyms are closed and you just had a little argument with your spouse because it's a 1-bedroom apartment. You are in together constantly. So let's just say, darling, I cannot have this conversation right now. I need time out. So just go walk it out with your mask, or go in the bedroom, close the door, and journal. So give each other the space, respect each other's timing. And just because one spouse is working and the other one is not working because lost the job and is just looking for a job, that doesn't mean it's Sunday every day and we could lounge and watch TV. So make it very clear, this is what I need to do, and I appreciate if you support me in this. And if you cannot support me, would you please at least help me to do ABC? Communication, commitment, respect, and vulnerability. All of that.
All of it. Great sound advice. And this is the last scenario. Speak to the couple struggling to homeschool their children, but also fear returning their kids to the classroom safely.
That is another big issue, unfortunately. And I pray for every mom that is homeschooling right now, because it's not easy. I want to go back to 1950s, World War I, World War II really fast. Those days, raising a kid and being a housewife was normal. You didn't need a trophy. You didn't need to be praised. Moms were home helping the kids to learn and grow. Or when the World War II happened, depression happened, 1950s or whatever, all the things changed. Moms had to work a lot, and dad had to move to Detroit to send a check to the family. But families survived somehow because they believe in the fundamental of marriage and unity, and they got back to the reasons they are married, and they try to take care of the family and the kids. So homeschooling your kids is difficult. Being a stay-home mom is very difficult, or dad is very difficult, but that's what parents do. I mean, if you're not equipped, if you're not ready for this job, I am so sorry. Why did you have kids? Because kids are not easy. I just became a grandma. My beloved daughter just had the most beautiful angel boy in the whole world. And I see how hard it is for her. And I say, darling, I hate to say it, but it's going to get even more harder. But it's very peaceful and loving at the same time. So it is a journey. It's a season. And God's willing, COVID-19 will be over soon. God's willing, but at the same time, one day at a time. Mom, self-care. Mom, dad, self-love for yourself first, then the kids. Give yourself permission to say, darling, I need to go take a bath really fast for 5 minutes, or I need to just take a shower. I used to take 4 or 5 showers a day when I was raising my kids because it heals the body. So take care of you and then take care of the kids and give each other's assignment as a couple. Can you take care of dinner tonight if I could do the homework tonight? Can you take care of the grocery shopping if I do the Zoom meetings with the teachers? But going back to school after all this over, it's gonna have some anxiety, it's gonna have some uncertainty, but we need to have faith and we need to know that with the blessing of Lord, everything is gonna be healed and okay, and we don't need to start exaggerating and thinking negative that if they go back to school, they're gonna be sick and they're gonna be this and this. We need to just take one day at a time. This is a crisis, and that means you take care of you. You get your head straight, as Devon Franklin says. I love him. I love Devon Franklin too, another amazing, wonderful pastor, mentor. He's not my mentor. I watch him and I think he's my mentor. But anyways, he says, no matter what your responsibility is in a marriage, take care of your own head first, okay? Then you could be a good husband or good wife or a good parent. So, and another thing is don't go too far with negative thoughts that if they go to school, they're gonna get sick for sure. Just do your best.
Sound advice from a professional expert like yourself. I'm so grateful for your time today. I want to thank you. And if anyone is interested in therapy services or booking you for speaking engagement, what's the best way to contact you?
My Instagram is a great way, and also my website. And yeah, those are the best way to get connected to me.
All right. Well, Zahra Heydari, thank you so much for being on the Chandria Show today. You're phenomenal, and you stay safe and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thank you, darling. I want to acknowledge you for 1 second. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for doing this, for creating this space, and for being such a powerful, loving, inspiring role model for all of us out there. We need young, dedicated, loving, smart, courageous people like you to take us and show us to the world what we all are doing and supporting each other. So I want to thank you for your time.
That means so much to me.